Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're really unpacking something quite fascinating. America's global influence. It's everywhere, right? But the really interesting question our sources tackle is, why? Why does the world keep talking about America, even if, you've never actually been there?
It's a great question. And what's really striking is how our sources approach it. They talk about America less like a country and, more like this huge global brand.
A global brand? Huh. That's a different way to put it. What do they mean exactly, calling a whole nation a brand?
Well, they're saying it projects this consistent image, a set of ideas, almost like a story that people worldwide kind of buy into, like a big company's identity. Mm-hmm. And it really is everywhere. Think blockbuster movies. The Marvel Universe is a huge example they give.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or, tech gadgets, even meme culture online. The sources mentioned McDonald's, obviously, those golden arches are global.
Right.
And things like TikTok trends that just explode everywhere. Or, Taylor Swift, she's a phenomenon that completely crosses borders.
It's kind of amazing how much it seeps in. The sources keep pointing out you might have worn American clothes, maybe used American slang without thinking, or grabbed some American fast food.
Exactly. Even if you've never set foot in the U.S., it's like this quiet cultural influence that's just there.
So it's not just the movies and the music. How else does this brand stay so strong, according to the sources? Is it just entertainment, or is there something maybe deeper going on?
That's a really good point. The sources argue it's more than just, say, economic power or Hollywood. It's also this powerful cultural pull, a resonance that really cements the brand. American ideals, maybe simplified sometimes, get exported globally. And that leads us to the next thing the sources dig into. Okay, we see America everywhere, but what makes it so appealing, so magnetic?
Yeah, what is that pull? What really jumped out at me from the readings was this focus on not just freedom in a political sense, but the promise of personal reinvention. This whole idea that you can start over, that anything's possible if you just work hard enough. That making things happen vibe really seems to connect with people everywhere.
Absolutely. That whole spirit of, building something yourself, carving your own path. The sources show how that idea itself has become a global export. It influences how people think, start businesses, way beyond just Silicon Valley. And in a world that often feels, chaotic or uncertain, America, at least the idea of it presented in these sources, seems to offer an escape hatch.
An escape? How so?
Like a promise of fairness.
Yeah.
The meritocracy.
Yeah.
That your effort matters more than where you came from.
Yeah.
Which can feel very different from maybe more rigid societies elsewhere.
Yeah. The sources call it a dream of new beginnings, innovation, and speaking your truth. And you have to admit, that dream, even if it's maybe idealized, it holds a lot of power.
Definitely powerful.
There was even that anecdote in the material about a creator working in just a tiny room somewhere, but believing their voice could go global purely because of that American-driven reach,
It's quite a thought, isn't it? That huge global impact stemming from that core belief in individual potential.
So, wrapping up our deep dive here, we've looked at how America functions as this massive global brand and explored why that idealized dream it represents pulls people in, even from thousands of miles away.
Right. And all this admiration, this fascination, it leads to maybe a deeper question for you, the listener, to think about. The sources hint at this tension. Why do we often admire America, but maybe keep it at arm's length, admire it from afar? Where does that admiration sometimes shift maybe into frustration? Just something to chew on until next time.